Yeah, once this is live, I will. Definitely not safe. Elliot, get out of the bathtub, bro. Let's see. I'm just gonna pause my YouTube feed, otherwise it's gonna have some weird echo. So hang on one second. And once this is live, I will. There we go. Okay, so what? So I'm gonna kind of re-say everything for YouTube people, right? So when we went out as RVPs, we went out as one of the biggest RVPs, one of, if not the biggest RVP, to up to that point, because Jessica Powers has since beat us, and has gotten bigger. She was bigger than we were when we went out. But we went out as one of, if not the biggest regional vice presidents in the Midwest, definitely in Michigan ever. We were one of the fastest to the $100,000 ring as well. And the way that we did this was using the red line system, right? With the Andy system, which is effectively Ian's system with a slightly better way of explaining comp on the orientation. That's really the only thing that I think is better on the orientation. Everything else is very simple. One page presentation. Like that's all Ian ever taught. That's all Andy ever taught me to do. Never doing anything else. None of this other fancy bells and whistles or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, you need something that your new person can come on, go on 2 training appointments, be like, dang, that's easy. I can do that. Right? Because otherwise you're going to be running appointments forever. Nobody's ever going to get independent and you're never going to be able to get to where you want to go. So I really think that we're like right on the cusp of getting like 50 by 50 very, very, very consistently. Like I really think we're right there. What we're missing is people duplicating the kitchen table process, right? Duplicating the sales side. Y'all can recruit all day, right? But we're not closing life insurance. And there's multiple reasons for that, and we can go over all of them if you want me to really fast. But I think 2 things. One, your belief in yourself, and that belief in yourself is an overcomplicated presentation, which makes you doubt your ability to sell. It's a very, very simple process. At the end of the day, you need life insurance to cover your debt and your mortgage and a year or 2 at least of expenses. It's not that hard, right? But we have 7,000 things in a keynote presentation, and we got to be able to do this and share my screen and do that. And it's just like, it's too much, right? And so we need to make it very simple. So you recruit somebody, get them licensed, they can plug in and they can go make it happen, right? They make it rain, if you will. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to give you the presentation, right? I'm just going to give you the presentation. I'm going to pretend that I'm recruiting somebody. Well, actually, you know what? No, let's do it. Cassie, are you in a quiet place? I know, Josh, you're doing bath and stuff like that with the kids.
Yeah.
Are you, Cassie? Okay. Cassie, pretend you got a couple kids. Okay. So you're a single mom, right? You're a single mom. And that's just for the sake of this. Because I want you guys to see how it is the same as the recruiting presentation that we've been talking about. Okay. So I've already formed Cassie. I've gotten to know her. Cassie, you got 2 kids. I don't care what you do for work. Just tell me, I guess. What do you want to do for work? What do you want your job to be?
I'm a nurse.
You're a nurse. Awesome. So you're a single mom nurse, making good money. And, Karen brought you on the call, right? So I already formed you. I got to know you. Karen introduced me. You guys work together, whatever. So what I would say at this point, so I'm not sharing my screen. So I say, Cassie, I'm super excited for you to be on here today. Obviously Karen's getting some training done and we want to show you what we're doing. So is it okay with you if I share my screen really quick?
Yeah.
Awesome. So do you see this blue page that just popped up? It says Primerica at the top.
Yep.
Awesome. So Cassie, if I were to say to you, like a good neighbor, what would you say?
State Farm is there.
State Farm is there, right? So you've been brainwashed just like everybody else. That's okay. So we're actually a part of a company called Primerica. Okay, so we're the largest independent financial services marketing organization in North America. You already said, if I said like a good neighbor, you were going to tell me State Farm, right? So at the end of the day, like you've heard of them before, and you've heard of them because of marketing money, right? So they spend over $1 billion a year on marketing. Primerica actually doesn't spend any money on a corporate level from a marketing standpoint. And so, Cassie, if we're not going to spend any money on marketing, what do you think that does for our clients?
Puts more money in their
Yeah,
pocket makes
it's,
it
it's
cheaper.
gonna it'll keep more money in their pocket, right? Because the policies are cheaper, right? They're generally better. A little bit more goes to the agent sometimes. And if I'm recruiting them, I would say that. But if I'm not recruiting them, I'm not going to say that. Doesn't matter. Doesn't necessarily matter. But it's going to save them money, right? Now we are listed on the stock exchange. So our ticker is PRI. If I need to, if I feel like I should, I will share Google right there and show them the stocks. I'll show them the stock prices and stuff like that, right? You don't necessarily have to do that if you don't want to. And I would tell them, hey, approximately 2.7 million client investment accounts with over $350 billion in assets under management, Cassie. Isn't that crazy? That's a lot, right? 350 billion in assets under management.
Yeah,
We have over 5.7 million lives insured through our company right now. That's individual policies. That doesn't include spouses. It doesn't include child riders or anything else. Almost $1 trillion with a T dollars of life insurance in force currently. Okay, so we have a ton of life insurance in force, lots of people covered. We're one of the best insurance companies according to Forbes magazine in 2022. Right, we're a top 25 place to work according to Forbes for diversity, for females. We're a top 25 place to work over the last 3 or 4 years with Forbes as well. We're also a #1 most trusted life insurance company and the #3 most trusted financial services company by Investors Business Daily. So I know you've never heard of Primerica before, Cassie, but we're just a massive multi-billion-dollar insurance and investment company that just doesn't run ads. So you won't hear about us unless somebody ran into you. And luckily, Karen ran into you and talked to you about this. So I'm super excited to get to kind of share this stuff with you. Now, our mission, Cassie, is to help people earn more income, become properly protected, debt-free, and financially independent. Cassie, do you see anything on those lists of 4 things that you would like, that would be nice for you if you had something like that?
Oh yeah, all of them.
Yeah, all of them, right? Obviously, you're going to want to make more money, save more money, protect your family better, and get independent, right? And so what we do is we help them do that. Now, I know that we're here to help Karen with some training, but if we could help you in any of those areas, is that something that you would just be open to taking a look at?
Yeah.
Awesome, Cassie. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But Cassie, how we do what we do is we educate people on how money works. Right. And we teach them the concepts so they can make informed decisions about how to manage their money. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Cassie, but your money comes into the bank account. And if you're anything like 80% of Americans or more, your money comes in and then it goes out just as fast. And we don't really know where it all went. Right. And sometimes at the end of the month, we don't have enough money left over. And I'm sure that's not you, but that's a lot of people that I talk to. Right. And so what we're doing is we're just teaching people how their money works. And we do this with by providing a financial needs analysis to give people a snapshot of their financial situation. It's essentially like a GPS for their money. We're teaching them how to navigate the road so they know where to go, so they don't get lost. So Cassie, if I gave you my address and said, hey, come over, we're going to go to Disneyland. It's going to be incredible. Like I live in Tampa. I'm pretty close to Disney, right? We're going to go to Busch Gardens. And I said, hey, come to my house. Our families, we're going to go to Disney, right? We're going to have a blast. It's going to be incredible. We'll pay for everything. You just got to get here. What is the first thing you would do with my address if I sent it to you?
Put it in the maps on my phone.
Yeah, you're going to put it into your maps, your GPS. Now, why would you put it into your maps and not just like aimlessly drive until you magically somehow ended up in the right place?
Get there a lot faster.
You're going to get there faster, safer. You're going to avoid the lakes, right? You're going to not, well, if you're in Michigan, you're not going to avoid the potholes, but if you're, and I always joke about potholes and stuff like that there, but we're going to get you there as safe and as quick as possible, right? So Cassie, sometimes when you get places, you're able, or when you're going places after you've been there a few times, you don't need the GPS anymore, right? But if we don't have that muscle memory, right? If we've never been there, it's really difficult for us to get there. So Cassie, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been retired yourself before?
No.
No, obviously, right, guys? I'm asking a dumb question, right? So no, you've never been retired. So Cassie, we have no idea how to get to retirement, really. And if we could provide a financial needs analysis that's going to get you there and let you know for sure that you're going to be able to get there, that would be a win for you, correct?
Yeah.
So Cassie, you would agree that having a plan is better than not having a plan, right?
Yeah.
And outside of you, who currently handles your financial planning?
Nobody, just me.
Nobody. Okay, guys, that's the killer question right there. That is the key question. Outside of yourself, who currently handles your financial planning? Nobody. Great. Cassie, so if we were to be able to put a plan in place for you for free that showed you that you were going to be able to retire, that gave you the way to get there with as minimal taxes, protecting your family, making sure you were able to become financially independent, and you knew what that process was going to look like, Cassie, wouldn't it make sense for us to get back together for 10 to 15 minutes just to make sure you had all that information?
Yeah, for sure. Now, hold on. What if they said, I'll say, yeah, actually, I have somebody who I've been working with for a while.
We'll get there in a second because that's not very many people, but we'll circle back to that in a minute. Okay. No, you don't have anybody. Wouldn't it make sense? Yes, it would make sense. Okay, Cassie, great. So we're going to get back together in like 1 to 2 weeks. What's typically good for you? Is Sunday nights at 6:30 usually okay? I know it's like what time we're on right now. Does that usually work for you?
Yep.
That's the secret. I just schedule the same freaking time 2 weeks later. Okay. For the FNA. So I'm scheduling the same time 2 weeks from now on the FNA. So I schedule that. Awesome, Cassie. I can't wait to get back together with you in a couple weeks. Do me a favor. I need all your debts, all your expenses, if you have them. Most importantly, we need interest rates and balances for debts and investments. Those are the two most important things. Everything else fluctuates a little bit, but we need the interest rates and the balances. That's going to help us with the projections. Okay. So Cassie, obviously you see a lot of value in what Karen's doing for people, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Who's a couple people that you think that Karen should reach out to, just to show them what she's doing? Like, who's somebody you know that just got married? And then shut up and let them tell you, right? Who's somebody that just had a baby? Because do you know anybody? No, she doesn't know anybody, right? But who's somebody that just got married? Well, now she's going to think of 2 or 3 people, right? Who's somebody that just had a baby? Now 2 or 3 people, right? It's just like what they said on Tuesday night training last week. So after she gives me a couple of referrals, I'm just going to say, awesome. Cassie, do you have any old 401ks or anything like that I should know about before we get back together? Anything from any old jobs that you're not using or anything like that?
Yeah, actually, I think I have one with my old company.
Okay, awesome. Just do me a favor, call the company or download the PDF and bring that next week, and I'll help you figure out what we can do with that. Okay, because we'll be able to actually help it work for you. Because right now it's probably not doing a whole lot for you, so we'll just kind of put it in a better spot if we can. Okay, awesome. Well, Cassie, I'm super excited to get back together with you next week. Thank you so much for jumping on here with Karen. We definitely appreciate the referrals to help her build her business as well. I'm so glad you saw value today. And I'm excited to get back together with you in a couple of weeks. Now, Cassie, last question before we get out of here, and I unshare my screen at this time. We're just having a conversation, right? So, Cassie, outside of your work, who currently handles your life insurance?
I don't have any outside of work.
You don't have any life insurance?
Mm-mm.
Wow, and you have a couple kids too, you said, right?
Yeah, but I'm insured through work, so.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so you at least have something through your job. Great. That's great. Now, Cassie, do you know how work group insurance works typically? Like, has anybody ever kind of walked through that with you?
No.
Okay. Would it be okay if I told you a couple things about how group life insurance works? Like, it's my job, right, for life insurance. Would it be okay if I gave you a couple reasons or a couple things that life insurance works through your job?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, awesome. So first off, Cassie, like, if you, for whatever reason, stopped working at your current job, would you get to keep your life insurance, or would that life insurance go away with all the other benefits that you had? Like, if you got a better offer or anything like that, like, would you lose life insurance just like you would all the other benefits, like your 401k, health insurance, stuff like that?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So we want to make sure we have something that wouldn't go away right now. The other thing, Cassie, is I don't know if you knew, but a lot of life insurance policies have exclusions. Group life insurance, policies have exclusions where, like, if you're not actively on payroll, meaning, let's say, like, you're having another baby or something like that, and you're off payroll for a couple months and you're on FMLA or something along those lines, or you get injured and you're not getting paid, or you get laid off, maybe furloughed, like what happened a couple years ago, right? Everybody got furloughed. They weren't actively on payroll. And if somebody passed away, guess what did not happen? The company didn't pay out the life insurance. Now, Cassie, I'm sure that whether or not you're laid off or not, your kids are going to still need some financial help, or whoever's taking care of them if you were to pass away. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And last but not least, Cassie, I don't know about you, but I haven't seen anybody like picketing or like, tearing down the walls of their employer because benefits are getting better and better and better, right? Benefits are getting worse. We're seeing people's benefits stripped, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cassie, I know you have something through work, and anything you can get for free from your job, I definitely would encourage you to keep. Are you paying for anything or is it all just free?
I think I might be paying like $10 or something.
Okay, great. So get that next week when we get together. But Cassie, ultimately at the end of the day, it would make sense that you had something that you had control over, that you owned, that wasn't in the hands of your company, right?
Mm.
That if something happened, you were able to dictate who the money goes to and you knew it was going to pay out. That would make sense for you to have something like that in place for your kids, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. About how much a month do you think you'd be comfortable setting aside for your financial future, just to make sure everything was taken care of? And before you answer that, I've got people that do like $50 a paycheck. I have people that do, a couple $100 a paycheck and everywhere in between. How much per check roughly do you feel like you'd be comfortable setting aside?
I could probably do like 100
Like
a paycheck.
$100 a check. Okay, great. And how often are you paid? Are you like, is that like weekly, monthly? Are you bi-weekly? Like what's that pay
Every
structure look like?
every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks? Okay, great. So $200 a month, right? So Cassie, if we could find something that was around $200 a month, protected your family, set you up for success with investments, minimal taxes and stuff like that, and set your kids up to have an inheritance and something that was going to help them be able to do the things that they needed to do if something happened to you too early. Cassie, is that something that you would be open to looking at?
Yeah.
All right, great. So guys, what I'm doing in the background is I'm pulling up a freaking quick quote, right? Because I already got her age and everything like that. She already told me like, about how old she was, if it made sense. I'm not going to like pry like, how old are you? Like, but if she's like, oh yeah, I'm 27, 28, I have 3 kids. Like a lot of people do that a lot of times. So Cassie, pretend you didn't tell me how old you were. So Cassie, I'm going to pull up and just look at a quote really quick. I'm going to show. So here's why you got to have a trainee on the appointment, right? Because Cassie, I'm going to show Karen how to do a quote really quick. Okay. So Cassie, for the quote purpose, how old are you right now?
27.
27. Okay, great. Now, can you see my screen? I just hit share.
Yep.
Okay, great. So what we do is, and I'm just explaining to Karen what I'm doing, right? So Karen, when you pull up your quick quotes, make sure you clear everything out so you're not unquote or quoting the wrong price or wrong person. And Cassie, you said you're 21, right? No, I'm just kidding. 27. Awesome. And you live in Florida?
Yep.
Great. Do you use tobacco or nicotine? No. Wonderful. Yes. Doesn't matter. Don't have to tell everybody your medical history. And Cassie, you're a female. Awesome. All right. So Cassie, we're gonna go worst case scenario on a 35-year term to 95, which means so now until you're 62, you're gonna have the same level amount of life insurance, never gonna go up. Okay. And then after that, you're going to have the same price, but the life insurance benefit's going to go down a little bit. But Cassie, we're going to work together. We're going to help you with some investments. So it's going to offset the amount of life insurance you have. You don't need life insurance. My job is not to sell you life insurance for your whole life. My job is to sell you life insurance to get you financially independent so you can cancel your life insurance. Okay. We're the only company that's going to teach you how to cancel your life insurance, but you do need it right now. So Cassie, if we could get you $300,000 in coverage, get you waiver of premiums, so disability benefits, right? If something happens to you and you're unable to work, we're going to pay for your policy for you until you can go back to work and give you a check for 6 months back. Also, you're going to be able to, if you ever, like God forbid, you get diagnosed with some type of terminal illness, you're going to get to have 210,000. So 70% of this policy, you're going to be able to withdraw early and utilize to help keep you alive, right? Because ultimately, if we could not dip into your retirement account and help you fight some type of terminal illness, if that were to happen, that would be a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And I know you said you didn't have anything on the kids, so we're gonna put 25,000 on all the kids. It's just like a Netflix account. You can have one login, aka one payment, and 27,000 accounts. Not really. You have 12 kids on the same policy with no increase in price. Okay, so worst case scenario, Cassie, we're looking at $70 a month. Okay, best case scenario, we're looking at 53. Okay. Now I know you said $200 a month would be doable for you. So I'm sure 70 would not be an issue, right?
Right.
Perfect. So Cassie, who do you want your beneficiary to be? Is that going to be the kids?
Yeah.
Great. And I'm saving her. I'm going to get your contact information and plug it in here real quick, whatever. And then I'm going back and I'm going to say, all right, Cassie, so what we're going to do today, just like when you went to college, because you're a nurse, this is the A close. The A diagram closed. So Cassie, just like you went to college when you were a nurse, right? You're going to have to apply for life insurance, just like you applied for school. Cassie, where'd you go to school at? nursing school?
Um, University of Florida.
University of Florida. Great. And did you have to apply for that, or did you just like show up day one with your books and your Gator gear on and everything, just like ready to learn?
Yeah, I had to apply.
Yeah, you had to apply, right? Obviously, guys, you're asking a lot of questions, obviously, that you already know the answer to, right? So, Cassie, what we would do, just like college, we're going to apply. We're going to make sure we get you covered. Just $70 for that application. Okay. Now you're going to get this money back if for whatever reason we cannot accept you. Okay. Now this is an escrow payment. Are you familiar with how escrow works, Cassie?
No.
Okay. So let's say that you're buying a house, right? You put money in there and that just shows that you're good for the money. You have the money, you're serious about it. So I know that protecting your family, creating that generational wealth, I know that's something that's very important to you, right? We talked about that already. You want to make sure that's taken care of. So we're protecting your kids and we're doing the thing that's most important to you right now, which is locking that down and making sure we at least start the process. This doesn't lock you into the policy forever. What it does though, is it does get the process started. So Cassie, we're going to get you $300,000 in life insurance. Okay. So you have $300,000 in immediate coverage for life insurance. You're going to have $25,000 for the kids. You're going to have access to 210. Whoops, hit the wrong button. Sorry. You're going to have access to 210,000 in case of a medical emergency. You have medical insurability forever. The kids have medical insurability forever. Guys, you're just as many benefits as you can rattle off your head that are truthful. You're going to throw on there, right? If you draw a blank after 5 or 6, fine, whatever, that's fine. Cassie, you got life insurance, you got term to 95, which means you're going to be able to have life insurance till you're 95 years old. That's longer than most whole life insurance policies last, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. So Cassie, we're going to get you all the benefits that we just talked about right now, the second that we put this application in. Okay. Now, Cassie, there's 3 things that might happen. Okay. Number 1, you get not accepted, right? They say, hey, you know what? We found that she has 14 felonies and a bunch of different medical issues. We cannot give you life insurance. Okay, great. No worries. You're going to get your $70 back. Okay. Now, I don't think that you're going to lie to me on the application because they'll find out, right? So you're going to be truthful on the application. And then now we have 2 other outcomes, right? The first outcome is that they say, hey, yes, we can cover Cassie, at which point you have the decision to say yes or no. Now, let's say you're like, Dan, you know what? I changed my mind. Protecting my family is not important to me, and I do not want to have this life insurance in place. Great. Then you just cancel it and we'll get you your $70 back and you can go and continue doing what you were doing without having life insurance that you know for sure is going to pay out. Okay. So that's option number 1. Option number 2 is that we cover you and it comes back cheaper than what we initially talked about, which honestly, like you look like you're in pretty good shape. I think that's probably what's going to happen. So Cassie, at that point, this $70 would then apply right here. Okay. So now we are 45 days into your policy. That policy is now payment number 1 has happened already here, right? On the application day, you applied. And then now it's applied 45 days later, then you have your monthly payments thereafter. So you're getting like a month to 2 months of free life insurance. While you think about it, we're getting back together in 2 weeks to make sure this fits your budget. I know it's super important for you to make sure your family's protected and taken care of. We've talked about that before today. So Cassie, I know you said $200 a month would be doable for you. We're coming in at 70 worst case scenario. What we're going to do is apply to try to get that a little bit lower. Okay. So Cassie, what I need from you is just your phone number, your email address, and I'm going to go right into the application, guys. I'm not giving her an option to say no. Now, at that point, she might throw an objection here, an objection, right? She might, well, I just want to think about it. Okay, great. You have time to think about it. This is just the application day. It's not like you guys got to know you're overcoming objections. There's like 3. You really only need to know 3 or 4, like that for real. Like you shouldn't, like you need to know those and we'll drill those. That's not what we're doing right now. But guys, that's it. Like start to finish, it's 20 minutes. Like I talked to you for 5 minutes and then I'm in an application, Cassie, right? You said yes a million times. You're like, I need this. This makes sense. Yes, yes, yes. Right. We're 20 minutes into our conversation and you're like, I'm ready. Like, because you need it. And we've talked through it. So guys, that's the KT side. Okay. So Cass, you had a question earlier. And maybe, I don't know if I want to do that right this second. Just because of what we're doing on this YouTube video. Hang on. Let's see. Yeah, I'll answer that question because you asked it earlier. So what was the objection that you had?
I forgot.
I think I said, who currently handles your finance,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
who
I have
currently handles your financial plan?
right.
And make something
Family
up.
friend. Family friend. I have a family friend who's been doing it for a while now.
Oh, that's awesome. Cassie, what, if you don't mind me asking, I know your family, I'm sure he's doing a great job. Cassie, what's your cost basis currently? Do you know?
No,
Okay, what was your annual return last year on your mutual fund account?
I have no idea.
Okay, do you know the beta for the funds that you're in?
No.
Okay, so wouldn't it make sense that you knew like some of the three most basic numbers for your investments? That way you had those and you knew for sure that you had the best deal and the best rate. Because Cassie, at the end of the day, like my job is to make you wealthy, right? Your family friend, that's awesome. I think you should continue to do business with them. But my job is to make sure that your money's in the right place. If we just get back together, it's a free look. And let me ask you a question, Cassie. If you had a hangnail, right, and you went to a doctor, and your doctor's like, yep, all right, hangnail on the pinky, we got to cut the arm off. What would you do?
Go to a different doctor.
You're going to go to a different doctor. You're going to second opinion. A lot of times, Cassie, what I've seen is that people have hangnails in their finances, just little things that they could be doing better that would get them a better rate of return. And what's actually happening is their current financial advisor is cutting their arm off with super high risk accounts, very low rates of returns, and super high costs. And so, Cassie, I'm just the second opinion, right? I have no financial interest in you working with me right now. My job is to make sure that you're getting the best deal. Worst case scenario, we move everything over because you are getting ripped off by your family friend and we put you in a better spot, right? Best case scenario, you find out you have the best possible plan for you and your kids, and you're going to retire a millionaire with minimal taxes. So as far as us getting back together, what's better for you? Next week, next Sunday, or the Sunday after that?
Nice.
But
Perfect.
if you're not confident when you say that, it's not going to matter. If you're like, well, like, if you know what I mean? Like if you just stumble, if you can't, like you guys have to rehearse this stuff. Like I didn't get good at this by doing 0 KTs and 0 recruit appointments and 0, you know what I mean? Like I gotten so many appointments that I couldn't not get good at it. I got so many objections that like I would suck at the business, but we still did 30 by 30 every month for 9 months in a row because I just had so much crap going on. Right. So what questions do y'all have? What are your thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, whatever about that as the KT instead of a presentation where you got to learn it all and have keynote and all that crap? What honest questions, feedback, anything like that? I'm open to it.
How often do you challenge the thought? Like, for example, when she was like, oh, yeah, like she obviously answered that she didn't have anybody outside of her. Like she was like, oh, I don't have anybody outside of me that handles my finances, and then comes back later and changes her answer and is like, oh, yeah, my family friend does it. But she clearly, how do you challenge that thought? Like
yeah,
when you,
Josh, that's awesome that you have a family friend that's doing everything for you. Just 5 minutes ago, though, you told me it was just you. Like, did you recently hire? And I will say this. Did you like in the last 5 minutes just hire a financial advisor?
It's great.
yeah.
Like, yeah, okay. Oh, you forgot. Okay, well, so then they don't talk to you enough, and I guarantee you that we can put you in a better. But you might as well at least have somebody look at it that's going to communicate with you.
Rock solid.
Right? Like, yeah, like you just got to make them. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I don't want to say make them look dumb because that's not like you don't want to do that. Like, that's not how you sell. You don't make people feel stupid to sell that. That's not a good relationship to have. But like, bro, you just said like. I mean, I don't know how many times you guys hang out with one of your friends and they say something stupid and you're like, that was dumb. like you're not mean about it, but you're like, that didn't make any sense. Like, I'm just going to ask like, hey, Josh, like, I know you said, like, you just said that. So let's say you said, oh, it's me, right? Or just me and Stephanie. Great. And we get 5, like I go to set the appointment. You're like, well, actually, my brother-in-law does it or whatever. I'm like, okay, awesome. Josh, like what changed in the last 5 minutes? Because a minute ago, you told me it was just you and Stephanie. And now you said you have somebody. So which is it? Like, I'm just trying to clarify, like, which is it? Oh, it's my brother. Okay, cool. Like, and then I'll ask him, like, are you happy with the progress? Yes, I am. Great. I'll still try to set the FNA. I'm still going to try to get back together with him because at the end of the day, like, I'm not making a sale by setting an FNA and he's not spending any money. And I mean, you just got to meet with enough people that you find somebody whose best friend or brother is ripping them off on insurance. And then you use that example.
Boom.
You'll find them. It's not going to take you long. I'll tell you that. You go on 10, 15 kitchen table appointments, you'll find one. I guarantee it. My best friend sold me a whole life insurance policy when I was 22 years old, $225 a month. Stupid. I didn't know any better. So that's my story. If someone asks me like, well, what about this? I'll tell them that. Oh, my wife's uncle works for State Farm and won't come work with us because he knows he can make more money off a whole life policy and he won't be able to sell it here. I will literally tell that to people like he's sitting down with my family, selling them garbage, and he knows that this is better. There are people like that in every industry and every company and every insurance type of insurance, car, home, auto, whatever, you name it. They're all over the place. It's not special. It's not an anomaly. And I'm not, and here's the other thing, Josh, I'm not saying your brother is doing it or is doing it on purpose if he is, but wouldn't it make sense for you to look and just make sure that's not happening to you and your family? Because at the end of the day, Josh, is your brother going to pay for your retirement if all things go crazy inside of your portfolio?
Absolutely not.
No. So we should definitely look and make sure at least things are taken care of, because the most important person in your life, you just told me, was Stephanie and the kids. And we need to make sure that everything is okay for them. And that's my job. That's what I'm here for. So as far as us getting together, what's better for you, Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Great. And I need you to bring all your crap back with you, right? And on an appointment like that, I'm probably not going to like hard sell the insurance either, because I want them to come back because they have trust relationship with somebody else. I don't want them to feel like I'm trying to just close them and run away. Like they'll come back. But if I at the end, if I bring it up and they're like, oh yeah, we don't have any life insurance, I'll be like, what? Like, Josh, your brother is your financial advisor. You don't have life insurance on your wife and kids. You're the only one that's working.
He said I was in good hands.
Yeah, you must work for Allstate.
Yeah.
I would literally say that because you're trying to break the air, right? You're trying to have fun. But I also, guys, like, here's the thing, two things. One, I build enough rapport that I can talk like that to my clients 20 minutes into a conversation, right? Because I built, like, I have proof and I speak with confidence. So when I talk like that, people will listen to me. You might not have that confidence yet. You can hang your hat on. I'm working in the fastest growing office in Primerica right now. Like we're learning I'm learning a lot, and you can learn, like you can hang your hat on that, right? You can also hang your hat on, I'm going to have my regional vice president, my investment advisor with us on that appointment. He's going to help you out with your investments. We're going to make sure everything's in place for you. I'm going to do the financial needs analysis. We're going to schedule an appointment with my vice president, who's our investment specialist. He works with all the people that we have for investments. His number one job is to help you retire with the best investments you can possibly have. That's it. And then you set that up. You edify when you don't have the confidence, you steal mine. Take mine. Talk about your confidence and my ability to help them and get them on the appointment with me. And then you're going to start building that confidence because you're going to see, okay, I'm setting those appointments, right? Because guys, the most important thing you can do on a kitchen table appointment is set the FNA. The most important thing you can do, I hope you're writing this down. The most important thing you can do on a kitchen table appointment is set the FNA. And the problem with what we were doing for the last 6 months is we don't set the FNA. Right? We don't, it's like, oh, you can't do this? Great. I'm out. Talk to you later. Call me back when you're interested. No, like just set the FNA. And then guys, watch, ready? Here's the craziest part. Ready? I will show you how freaking easy this mobile FNA is. If you're doing the online version of the FNA still, I just found this the other day. So you're like me and you didn't know it existed, but the mobile version of the FNA is dumb easy, guys. Watch, look at this. Hold on. Let's let this thing load. Come on. There we go. Okay. We're on the mobile version. Go to mobile FNA. Watch, Josh, you ready? This is gonna blow your mind. You're like the FNA.
That's how I did mine when
Yeah, you're the Pied Piper, bro. You're just out here talking about all these freaking FNAs. Hang on 1 second. Let me find you. Whatever.
It's okay, bro. Expose me. I have no shame.
All right, we will. All right. So look, literally, guys, look, there's two major risks: dying too soon or living too long, right? To help you navigate your journey, the FNA, I've literally never seen this. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is my first time. Watch, Josh, watch me close life insurance on you right now. I've never seen this before. Okay. So, Josh, there's two major risks, right? It's the theory of decreasing responsibility. You have insurance, higher needs when you're younger, right? You got kids, mortgage, debt, car, all that stuff, right? And your investments, I'm gonna guess you're 27, probably not sitting on $1 million in cash, most likely. If you are, great, but most people aren't, right? As you get older, your savings go up and your need for insurance goes down. Why? Because the kids move out, you pay off the mortgage, your cars are paid off, you're getting closer to retire, right? So to help you navigate your financial journey, the FNA is going to do this quick calculation of the two most important numbers that you need in your life: your income protection number, which is for life insurance, and your FIN number, your financial independence number. That is how much money you need to have set aside to be able to retire and continue to live off your interest. Josh, does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, awesome. So first off, what state are you in? You're in
I'm
Cambodia,
Michigan.
correct? Great.
Yeah.
And then check this out. Trainee. Who's the trainee? Oh my goodness. Guys, you can freaking put a trainee right here. Let's see. EU. I don't know who this is. So EUV. I don't know, guys, whatever. I'm not gonna do it, but you can put a trainee in on the freaking FNA. That's crazy. This is amazing. Ain't that something, Elian? This is awesome. All right. So who's the client? Joshua. I'm spelling your name wrong. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Yeah, we're good.
What's your birthday, Josh?
12/17/93.
12. Yeah, I'm 2 months older than you. Exactly. That's crazy. And you're a male. Josh, what's your phone number? 517.
619. Yep.
Perfect. Just because it's on YouTube, I'm not trying to tell everybody.
Oh yeah.
Josh is cool 69 because I'm a child at gmail.com. So, and then next, so Josh, the best way to reach the destination is to make a plan and follow it, right? Josh, how many times have you been going? And this is just the story I'm going to tell, right, Josh? So how many times have you been going somewhere? Again, I've never seen this. How many times, Josh, have you been going somewhere that you put your address in the GPS and then you go the opposite direction?
Every other day at work.
Yeah, well, not on purpose when you're going somewhere for fun, right? Maybe at work because you gotta get paid, right? But at the end of the day, Josh, you're trying to follow the GPS to get to where you're trying to go as quick and safe as possible, right? And the longer you wait to follow the directions, the longer it's going to take for you to get there. The more money you're going to have to put away in retirement for you to be able to reach that number quicker. So, Josh, at what age do you think you're going to want to retire at? When do you want to be done having to work? Now, I'm not saying not working anymore. Maybe you're like me. I'll probably work until the day I die, at least in some capacity. But when do you think you want to be job optional, Josh? What's your goal?
At least 55.
55? Okay. So you got 38 years until retirement, Josh. Now, at your current plan, do you think you're going to be able to make it there the way you are right now?
No, probably not.
Okay, Josh, what's your current household income roughly? I don't care if you want to use your real number or not, doesn't matter.
5,500.
55,000, you mean?
Oh, and my monthly 5,500. My annual.
Oh, monthly. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad. I was thinking annually. I was like, that's not enough at all. You need a lot more. Okay, and Josh, typically we say living up 80% of your income in retirement. Okay, so you're gonna have expenses, inflation, and stuff like that, but you're also gonna have a lot of stuff paid off once you get there. So we'll leave that alone for now. So here's talking about inflation, right? So your monthly income goal at a 3% inflation rate. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the news, but it's actually like 7 or 8. And if you look at the real things that you're using, it's a lot higher than that. We'll just go with 3 for now, though. You actually need about 10 grand a month in income, $9,500 a month in income in retirement. Okay. So Josh, you need $2.8 million in retirement for you to be able to retire. Okay. Now this assumes, again, $4,400 a month in income, at an 8% rate of return, with a 4% rate of return, et cetera. I've never seen all those things. So I'm not going to train you on that right now. But so Josh, your shortfall currently, because you don't have any retirement saved and you're not currently investing, is $2.8 million. So Josh, how much do you have right now currently set aside for retirement?
In lottery tickets or excess income?
Like set aside right now, currently in a 401k.
I have about maybe 10 grand. It's not a lot.
Okay. And how much per month are you putting aside?
Oh man, barely 100.
All right, so let's call it 100. Great. So Josh, your savings at your current rate of return, or like with what you're doing right now, right? Assuming 8% rate of return, which is terrible. We'll talk about that in a second. Is $184,000. That is certainly not 2.7, right? Your shortfall is $2.7 million in retirement, Josh. So we're gonna have to make some changes, okay? So Josh, if we took your life expectancy and retirement age, we left them the same. If we put your money into something that was getting you a little bit better, right? Oh, they won't let you do more than 9%. Okay, so we're gonna get you 9%. Market average is 10, but we're gonna get you 9%. What we're gonna need to do is now you're at 227,000, Josh. So we're just gonna play around with this number and see how much you need to be saving every month to hit that number. Okay, so if you're investing, Josh, $2,000 a month, it looks like that's gonna get you really close to your number. You're still a little bit short. Josh, so currently with what you're doing, are you going to be able to invest about $2,000 a month, do you think, the way you're currently living?
Probably not. Definitely not.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop this down to $500 a month just to make it a little bit more attainable for you. And guys, again, I'm just playing with this for the first time, right? I'm just having fun. Josh, let's say you worked until you were 65, not 55. Okay. Now you're at 1.8 million. That's definitely closer. That's a much more doable number, right? And Josh, again, this is worst case scenario. Doesn't mean you got to do what you're doing right now. You know, I know you're building houses and a very physical job. Doesn't mean you got to do that the whole time. But this is assuming no income increase or anything like that. But you're doing $500 a month in retirement. So we got a little bit of a shortfall, Josh. And if there was a way, Josh, that you could make an extra $1,000 a month part-time from home with a few hours a week in your spare time, is that something that maybe you'd be open to having a conversation about?
Yeah. If it's a few hours and it's flexible, I don't see why not.
Okay, awesome, man. So guys, what did I just do right there? He has no freaking idea that I just recruited him right there, right? But I did. So cool. We're here. Now the next thing, Josh, we got to look at is the protecting your family thing, right, Josh? Because if you or your wife passed away too soon, your family's going to be at a risk to really damaging that financial roadmap, right? And so if you were to pay off your mortgage, Josh, how much would you need to pay off that mortgage right now? Or if you guys are going to buy a house sometime in the next couple of years, how much do you think you would need?
Probably like 180,000.
Like 180. All right, we're just going to do 180,000. Great. And how much debt do you guys have currently?
30,000.
All right. And would you want to leave any money behind for the kids?
Yeah, probably like 50,000. Just get a jump start on college. It's probably not a whole lot, but it's something.
All right. And we don't want to do like the discount funeral. So we're going to bump that up to a $20,000 funeral expense. And let's see, we want your life insurance to provide income for your wife at $5,500 a month for the next 15 years. Okay. Because we don't want her to have to go run off and get married or sell the house or anything like that, right? We want her to be able to continue living, raise the kids and stuff like that. God forbid something happens to you, so she can grieve properly, right? So Josh, you're going to need about $1.1 million in life insurance. Okay. And so then on the FNA, guys, you just go and you talk to him about that right there. So 1.1. Now I know you might not be able to afford that because you said $20 a month. So let's find something to get you as close as we can. So, I mean, that's it, guys. It's just on the FNA. And I know I'm a little bit all over the place, but I'm just like, if you can't tell, I'm fired up. Like, I'm just super excited about like switching that KT to back to what we learned on, because it's so duplicatable. Like, does that, for those of you that were on for the last 30 minutes, 40 minutes and saw all of that, do you feel like that's going to be easier for you to do and train people on how to do?
So much easier because it's got all the bullet points listed right there, so.
Awesome.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I actually have the whole sent it to Luke yesterday, but of everything, all the questions. Oh, that's my sermon, one page. Sorry.
I think we'll start preaching out of it.
Yeah, right.
It's not even Monday morning, bro. Why are you reading your daily quotes? Calm down. No,
I did not read my daily quote. It's be true to your work, your word, and your friends.
There you go.
So,
and you already got 25% of your income paid this month, so you're good to go. All right, guys. So I'm not gonna end this Zoom call because this is where team training is in 15 minutes.
Did I just hear what I just heard?
What?
Elian, he has 25%.
Yeah, he paid his 25, or he made enough to pay 25% of his income for the month. Yeah,
What?
yeah, because he's being coachable.
Amazing, Al.
All right, so I'm gonna turn my camera off. I'm gonna stop the YouTube feed